you guys, it's Megan. Today I just kind of wanted to make a chatty video about some recent revelations that I've had about Project Pan, and I've been thinking about these things for a while now, didn't really know how to put them into words, and last night I just sat down and tried to think of like some ways to say it. Of course, I made a little list with bullet points of things to remember to talk about, and yeah, I just think that it's really interesting, this whole process of using up stuff and project panning and doing my project use it up and different things like that. How much I've my perspective on makeup and beauty products and all of these sorts of consumerism things have really evolved, and it's definitely changed throughout me doing this. I didn't realize all of these things previously, and of course we have a lovely lawnmower person outside. That always happens. Every time I have time to film, there's someone mowing their lawn. It's crazy. So that noise isn't a lawnmower at all. It is leaf, they're going around the street and sucking up the leaves from the street. Seriously, all the weird outdoor things only happen when I'm filming. I have never seen that on my street before. Okay, back to the point at hand. So I've been really thinking about project panning and, I don't know, trying to realize what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And I know the reason I started was to get through stuff, but now I feel like my reasoning behind it has changed. Now I really can see the finish line, and so that's why I think all of these revelations that I've been having have come about recently. And I've been purging so much stuff, and I've been purging more than I've been using up, and there's definitely a reason that I've been doing that. And I'm gonna go into that, but first I'm just gonna go down my list so I don't totally get off track. So my first revelation is to give every item a fair chance. And when I do my purges and whatever, I really try to give each product a chance to maybe prove itself to me, but maybe I've had it for so long and I've given it a lot of chances and it just doesn't work for me anymore, or it's too old. And but I really think that it's important to give every product a fair chance. Even though I have some products in my project pan that I really wasn't sure about if I would like them or not, now that I have sort of been forced to use them, I've given them a fair chance and have realized ways to use them and enjoy them, which I think is really important. And I use stuff in ways that I wouldn't normally reach for it for in the past, because I would have just used it for its intended purpose. My NARS Ondine eyeshadow, I would have only used that as eyeshadow, and I had only used it as eyeshadow until I put it in my project pan. And now that it's in my project pan, now I use it as contour and I love it. And it's just really interesting to use products and give them that chance to sort of show you what they can do, and you might be really surprised as to how you like the products, and it might not be at all how they're marketed to be used as. So I think giving every item a fair chance is really important, and I don't know, it's sometimes hard because if you don't like something, you might just want to give up on it, but giving it a fair chance and using it a little bit more, maybe in a different way, then maybe you might really like it. The next revelation is one that I think is my most important one so far, and that is not to neglect new, great, or your favorite products in order to use up old items. Because in my mind, when you do that, the cycle is just continuing of products becoming old. So say I get a new cream shadow and I'm working on one to use up right now, but I really want to use the new one because it's new and beautiful and creamy and in perfect usable condition, but I'm trying to force myself to use up this old crusty gross one. Then the one that's brand new and wonderful might get old and crusty and disgusting while you're using up one you don't even want to use anymore. And that's kind of where I am now. Like when I threw out that e.l.f. blush that I use so much of, but I was really like hating it after I repressed it, and that's a revelation in itself. I am never repressing things anymore because they do not work nearly as well as they used to. But when I decided to throw that out, it was because I have other blushes that I was neglecting, and my new Chanel blush that I felt like I couldn't even use because I was trying to use up this blush that was $3 that wasn't even working anymore and that I didn't like it anymore. And I don't want my new amazing products or products I really love to not be used because I'm trying to use up a $3 item or something that's not even working as well as it used to anymore. So I'm just trying not to let this cycle continue. And that goes along with another realization that I've had recently, is to not have too many of the same type of product, especially products that can go bad, like cream products. That was something I realized with like body lotions and like shower gels and stuff, but I didn't really think of it for like cream shadows or like lipsticks and lip glosses and stuff like that, because with the cream shadow, you guys saw me purge 7 of my Maybelline color tattoos yesterday, and honestly they wouldn't have all got dried up if I didn't have so many cream shadows all at once. And that is like my fault that all of those ones got dried out, but also like it just shows that it's not like a super amazing quality product if they dry out like in less than a year. I had them. But I just don't want to have a million of the same products, and cream shadows is something I love. They are products that I enjoy using. I like have to use them because my eyeshadow never wants to stay on my eyes, so I have to have a primer and then a cream shadow and then powder shadow. So it's kind of a necessity for me, but it's also a really fun part of makeup for me. So I like to have different types of cream shadows, but I don't like reach for them enough to have that many. I don't have 10 eyeballs to do eye makeup on every day. So I just need to be more realistic in the number of things that I get, especially, like I said, cream products. So cream shadow, definitely a struggle for me. Eyeliner, I've been doing so well at not buying eyeliners over the past 2 years, so that isn't as big of a like problem for me. Lipsticks, that is something that I'm constantly trying to work through, the lipsticks I have. And what else? Like I never buy cream blushes really, but I do have that RMS Living Luminizer highlighter that I really need to like focus on using more often because it is a cream product and I don't want it to go bad, and it was kind of expensive. So I just don't want to have a million of the same types of products because that's how things go bad. Even if you're using like one every day, they can still dry out and go bad because you're not like using it enough for it to not dry out. Okay, what else? Throw out items that don't work well anymore. That goes back to my e.l.f. blush. And as much as I wanted to keep like using it and seeing how long it took me to use it up, it just wasn't working for me anymore. Every time I applied it, I hated it. It was patchy on my cheeks. It was awful. Same with the color tattoos. They were just like, they made my eyelids look dry and crepey and gross and awful. And just throw out stuff that doesn't work anymore, because that kind of stuff you don't want to pass on to people because it might be old or it just isn't good anymore, so you probably don't want to pass that on to anyone else. But if something like doesn't work for just you, but it's still a really good product, I would say like pass it on to someone else. They would probably get a lot more use out of it than you would. And that goes into the last thing that I have realized recently, and that is to pass on things that aren't your favorite before they go bad, and to let someone else enjoy them, and so you don't have to suffer through them. So if you have something in your project pan and you really want to use it up for like the principle of it. Like you want to prove to yourself, I can finish this. But you hate it, it's awful, like to you it's terrible, but it's a newer product and it just isn't the right color for you, you just don't like how it looks on you. Try to find someone else that would enjoy it, because we all like different things. I don't like certain tones of lipstick, like I don't like really bright pink lips, like really cool tone pink. So if I had one of those, I wouldn't want to force myself to use it, feel miserable about how I look. I would rather give it to someone who enjoys those colors. And I'm sure that there is someone out there that you can find that likes that color or that product, because why would there be so many different types of makeup products if there weren't people that liked all sorts of different things? But just don't like force yourself to use it if you hate it and it makes you feel bad about yourself, or it doesn't make you feel the most beautiful, because while you're suffering through it, someone else could be enjoying it. And I don't know, it just is something that I've been realizing, and instead of just letting things sit in my makeup collection, I'm really trying to go through it and pick out stuff that I honestly don't use because I don't like the color or it's just not right for me, and I want to find someone that it would work well for. So that's just something that I learned through like purging and going through my collection pretty much every week or every other week. And that's how I really like been able to do the Saturday 7s, even though I haven't been doing them as consistently recently. I kind of got out of the habit of looking through my makeup collection, but now I'm like really back into it, especially after like figuring out all these different revelations that I've been having. And my subscriber Lynn and I were having a conversation in the comments last night, and she's been having some revelations of this same type as I have, so that was cool to like kind of remind me that other people are feeling the same way that I am, that even though we want to finish stuff up for the principle of it, and I think that's what it really comes down to, there's like the principle that we spent money on this, we want to get our money's worth out of it, but then there's also all these underlying things like, what if you hate it? What if it doesn't work well? Like, should you keep using it and let all your other amazing favorite makeup go to waste? Because I think that's how the cycle would continue, because if I wasn't purging stuff, if I was trying to use up everything, it would take me years to use up everything that I have. And I would just rather basically start fresh. And that's what I'm really trying to do. I'm trying to get rid of stuff that I don't use, stuff that's bad, stuff that doesn't work for me, and basically build a collection all over again. A much more condensed sort of capsule collection instead of this like big crazy collection that no one would actually ever be able to use up. And I don't even have like a giant collection compared to some that I've seen, which is fine for them, but for me, I just can't do that anymore. It's not what I want anymore, and it's really overwhelming for me to have that much makeup now. And now I'm so much more particular about what I like and what I want to spend my money on, and that is what I really want. I just want something condensed. I want really, really nice things, things that I enjoy using, and have an amount that I would reasonably be able to use up before it goes bad. And my eyeshadows are things that is the hardest thing for me to get rid of. I have so many that honestly I could let go of today and never miss, but I just feel so attached to them, and I'm sure that all of us have that part in our makeup collection or like in our wardrobe or something that, I don't know, you just can't let go of it, because even if you don't wear it all the time or like ever, I don't know, it's just, there's something about it that's making me hold on to all of these eyeshadows that I like barely ever use. And I don't know when I'll get to the point that I'll just be like, whatever, I'm getting rid of this, but I know that I will get to that point. But I'm not sure if it'll be really anytime soon, just because it's really hard for me, and my drawer is so pretty. I love how it looks, but I shouldn't think of it like that. I shouldn't think of, oh my god, it looks like a store when I open it. I should think, oh my god, these are all my favorite things. I don't know what to choose because I only have my favorites. And that's not where I am yet, but that is definitely where I want to be. And it will be different once I get to that point, because then I won't have to be like using up stuff actively and like forcing myself to use stuff up. I'll just like use stuff and it'll get used up just on its own. And I think that that will be an amazing place to be down the line. That probably will be in like the next year. Maybe by the end of next year I will be closer to that point. So we'll see this time next year what my collection is like and where my thoughts are on all of this. But for now, these are the revelations I've been having. It's really interesting to me because I love learning about like the consumer and why the consumer does things, and sometimes I forget that I'm also a consumer, and it's just interesting to sort of pick my own brain and figure out the why behind all of this. And I don't know, it just really fascinates me. So if you guys have been having any realizations or revelations about Project Pan or makeup or consumerism or anything like that, please leave them down below because I would love to pick your brain as well on this topic. It's super amazing to me how we all are kind of like on the same page. Like it seems like we all are on the same page about using stuff up, but I think that there's a lot of underlying things that aren't always talked about this whole like Project Pan lifestyle almost. And it makes me wonder, this is something I think about all the time, it makes me wonder when I have like just my favorite stuff, will I be able to use a lipstick like a normal person? Because now I've trained myself to just apply lipstick all the time or apply lip gloss all the time until it's used up. I wonder if I'll be able to use products like a normal person after this, because it's really like ingrained in my mind now to use something all the way up and then start something else. So I'm just really fascinated by this whole thing, and I wonder if I will always be this way or if I'll be able to jump around from thing to thing, and who knows, only time will tell. But let me know what you guys think about this topic. I love these sort of chatty type videos, and reading your comments on these types of videos are like my absolute favorite thing ever. So please leave me long comments in the comments down below, or little short ones if you would prefer, but I would love to hear your opinions on this topic. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. I hope the lighting isn't too crazy. It went like in and out throughout this whole video, but I hope that you guys are having an amazing week so far, and I will see you tomorrow for weekly repeats and reviews on Halloween. So I'll see you then. Bye!